Hi everybody, welcome back to Mary's Room. I just wanted to pop on here this week instead of doing a written blog, just so that I can tell you a little bit more about myself and you can get to know me better, and also I feel like this is a little bit more personal. So first I'm going to talk about why I'm making the video and tell you a little bit more about myself, and then also why I decided to make Mary's Room into a transition planning and current ag politics blog. And then I'm going to let you know a little bit more about what the future of Mary's Room looks like, because we're going to be making a little bit some small changes next semester about about the topics we're going to be discussing. So I hope you keep watching and come back next week for more content. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I come from a farm background. I come from a first generation hay and grain farm that my dad started, and we live on actually my mother's land, or at least her family's land, and I think I will be the 6th or 7th generation to live on that land. And so there's a lot of history with my family and farming, and so I'm really proud of my parents for being first generation farmers, and I think that that's given me a little bit of a different perspective on the farming community, having not come from an established farm. I definitely think that makes a difference in how you view the industry and kind of what your priorities are. So whenever I was 10 years old, I asked my dad if we could start raising our own cattle. And he kind of ignored me for a little while, but I was a persistent little girl. So I said to him, I did really well at the county fair this year. I will take my profits from selling my steers and we can put that into buying some bred heifers. And I said, I'll buy the cattle and if you give me the feed. Little did he know that that was probably going to bite him in the butt later. So we went to a sale, I think in probably October and November, and we bought 2 bred heifers, and it's quite a miracle that I got them because I did not have a very high budget. But that was the start of MEB Herefords, and I started that in 2010 with my dad, and it's been growing ever since. I'm really proud of where it is right now, and it's helped me afford college and stay out of debt, so it's been a really great thing for me and my family. Along with the cattle, I was really into showing horses, so I've showed horses my whole life. I continue to show horses in dressage at my college. I'm on my intercollegiate dressage association team, and I'm actually the captain right now. And that has been a really great experience for me. I never really did sports because I was or traditional school sports because I was so involved with my horses. And I'm sure that that will be something that will always follow me through my life. It's always going to be a lifelong hobby of mine. And so that's a little bit about my personal farming background. And so right now I am in college at Albion College in Albion, Michigan, which is a fairly small liberal arts school. And I am studying political science and Spanish, and I'm actually going to be graduating in May, which is scary but also really exciting because I am currently working on my law school applications. And so in about a week or a week and a half, I hope to have them, almost all of them, submitted. So that is really exciting for me to kind of work towards the next step in my future, in my career. So why law school? I want to be involved in the ag industry, but I'm not going to do it in a traditional way. I thought about doing public policy, and then I worked in 2 government agencies and decided that that probably wasn't going to be the right thing for me. So then I kind of went down the law school track. I think that law school is going to allow me to work with people in ag, but not be doing the traditional farming. But I also really appreciate my background because it kind of gives me that perspective into what it's like to do the day-to-day work. So I'm hoping to do a little bit of the traditional transition planning, probate stuff learn about that while I'm in law school. And then I also think I'm going to focus on some environmental issues as well. And so hopefully in 3.5 years I will have my law degree, and then I will be practicing law, and I hope to be doing it in Wayne County. Eventually I would like to work on a more global scale and work with work internationally, and specifically with women, because women are normally in other developing countries the one who are actually doing the farming and doing the cooking. Work specifically with women and teach them how to farm sustainably and make a business that is profitable for them and their family. And so that's kind of a more long-term plan, but I think it's important to say because it's something that's really important to me, and I have a passion for human rights, and I think this would be a great way for me to combine my two passions of farming and human rights and kind of work with people on a larger scale than what Wayne County would give me. So you might be wondering why I chose to do a transition planning blog. So I talked a little bit about my own personal experience on my farm, but my family has struggled with their own transition planning process, and just for privacy, I'm not going to get into it, but we've had our own issues, and so that opened my eyes at a very young age about how important transition planning is for farms, especially if you want them to continue to be lucrative for generations to come. And so then also combined with that, this summer I worked for a Braille Law Office in Worcester, Ohio, and they focus on transition planning, business planning, and probate. And this is where I was exposed to how important the law and lawyers can be to this process. And I think that really sparked my passion the most because I saw what a difference successful and detailed and planned out transition planning can be for a farm, and how much of a difference it can make in how smooth your farm transitions. Can it stay profitable? Can it help your family stay together throughout a hard time like a death? And I think that after going through my own personal experience and then working with Braille, that kind of sparked my interest into doing this. So that's why I chose to do this as a directed study with one of my professors this semester. And I've had a really great time doing this because I've been able to combine my political science education that I'm receiving at Albion, and then also dive in a little bit, dip my toes in the water to the law side of ag. And so this is kind of how I hope to fit into the ag industry in the future, by kind of helping people work through their transition planning and help farms stay viable, because as our current politics change and the landscape of America changes, we're losing farming support, we're also losing farm land, and so it's really important that we protect and maintain what we have now so that we can continue to have it in the future. And so that's kind of why I chose to make the blog as a educational discussion, very informal place so that people can think about these issues, talk about these issues, maybe hopefully bring the conversations into the home and encourage people to think about these difficult topics for their own farm. So I'm also going to touch briefly about kind of what the future of Mary's Room looks like, because we are going to make some changes in the spring. I'm going to continue to do a directed study, but I'm going to transition away from transition planning. I think that I would like to focus on some topics like the fake meat industry that is evolving, gender politics in ag, and just maybe more of the current politics today in our evolving ag industry. And so we'll be talking about a more diverse array of topics. And also, I really do think that I'm probably going to do this in a video format instead of a written format. I think that I can talk to you guys more and engaged with you on a more personal basis instead of the articles. So, kind of let me know if you have any suggestions for topics that you want to talk about or you want to learn more about, and maybe I can work them into my plans. And I just want to thank you for listening and being here with me today and learning more about me. And if you have any questions about my background or kind of about my plans, just go ahead and drop them in the comments bar below. And check back next week. I'm really excited. I think that I'm going to be working with my parents whenever I go home over Thanksgiving break, or so actually check back in 2 weeks. and we're going to talk about their experience and why transition planning is important for them, and just learn a little bit more about my farm. So I'm really excited to do that with my family. And so check back probably the Monday after Thanksgiving, and we'll have the next video up. Thanks for watching.